So I found some interesting things. These are empty card packs, and I thought we'd take a look at some of them. They're mostly Magic, but there are other CCGs in here. So let's take a look at this one first. This is German language 4th edition. 4th edition was the first set that was printed in multiple languages, at least the core set. There were some supplemental things like 4th edition black borders sets. But here's one for 4th edition. This is Italian Legends. Very cool. Italian Legends was actually printed after Legends. This was printed closer to 4th edition. And this pack had a living plane in it, so it was kind of a big hit, and I enjoyed it. This cost me, I think, about $12 back in 1994. And that was a kind of big spending back then, but I was like, I gotta open a pack of Legends. And this is a booster pack of Revised Edition. As I've stated probably in other videos, I got into Magic the weekend that 4th edition came out. I just happened to decide to buy a pack and see what it was like, and at the time, Revised Edition was still around, but it was in pretty short demand. Magic was starting to pick up pretty big, and Revised, there just wasn't much product out. There was kind of a shortage, and for the most part, 4th edition fixed that since, it was a new set, but it was really hard to find Revised even back then. I think I paid $15 for this pack. I'm like, you know what? I wanna splurge and get a Revised Edition pack, and I didn't get very much. I think my one or two of my uncommons were lands, which was pretty common for a Revised Edition. You could get lands in any slot, including the rare slot. So it was really a dice roll opening a pack of Revised, let me tell you. So this is Renaissance. This was a foreign edition black border set that had some of the earlier reprints that were mostly part of 4th edition. So it had cards from like Legends, Antiquities, Arabian Nights, and The Dark that were common in 4th edition. So they're essentially foreign edition black border cards. And this one's in German. So that's pretty interesting. And this one is in French. Fun fact, both these packs had a Winds of Change as rare. So I have a French and a German Winds of Change. So yeah, that was just my luck. This is Fallen Empires. So Fallen Empires came out between Revised and 4th. And it's a little notorious for being a bad set. But most of all, this set was so overprinted. This set was so plentiful that even like 2 years after it came out, I bought a couple of booster boxes for probably under $50 each. And yeah. So, but it was good times because these were like super cheap. You could easily get a pack for $1.50 in a lot of places. And so yeah, it was fun to do a quick rip of it does have eight cards. It was a smaller pack, but it was fun. So this is another notorious set, Homelands, and this is Homelands in French for some reason. I don't know how I got a French Homelands, but there you go. This is the Star Wars CCG that Decipher put out. They did they do Lord of the Rings? They might have done one of the Lord of the Rings, the first Lord of the, second Lord of the Rings. First Lord of the Rings was Iron Crown. I think they did the second one. But they did this and they did Star Trek, and both used more or less the same system. I think Lord of the Rings was a different system, or it might have been very similar, but they were not compatible with each other. But these were both cool. This is Illuminati, which was a CCG by Steve Jackson Games. It was pretty neat. Did a lot with conspiracies and politics. It was fun. So this right here is, you'll notice it says Deck Master. So Magic the Gathering, on the back of the cards it says Deck Master. There were at least 2 other sets. There was this and Battletech that both said Deck Master. Jihad got renamed Vampire the Eternal Struggle to be a little more culturally appropriate. But the initial run, it had this name. And they were pretty neat. It was a pretty neat card game. I never played, but I collected some packs. Had some friends that played. It always looked fun. So these are both Visions, and these are interesting. So this Visions and this one, they're different looking. I'm not sure what the difference is. I think this came out of one of the gift sets that was kind of like an international gift set. I think that's where this one came from. And I think the shinier one is more of the normal packs, but those are kind of neat. This is Italian Alliance booster. Not sure how I got this. I didn't get anything really good out of this pack, but it was kind of neat to see Italian Alliances. And this is Mirage booster. This one's 5th edition. Yep, good old 5th edition. When did this come out? Does it say? Let's see if it has the. Is it 97 was it came out. 4th edition came out in 94. 5th came out in 97. This is the Dark, Booster of the Dark. That's pretty fun. This was another one. I think I paid $9 for this booster pack. It was pretty fun. I got an Amnesia. Was it Amnesia? I think is the name of the card. Yeah, that was my hit. It's worth like $3 or $4, but it's fun. So these 2 are boosters from the Rage clickable card game from White Wolf. White Wolf did the World of Darkness RPGs initially, and this was based on Werewolf the Apocalypse. It was a pretty fun game. I've got a couple decks floating around somewhere, and this is one of the expansions, the Worm, which added some other factions. These are pretty neat. I think this is still going on, but it's fan curated now, and a couple of sets come out probably in the last 5 or 10 years. They're still got a couple of sets. So these are both Chronicles. This is the English edition Chronicles, and this one's in Japanese. So that's fun. The Japanese one, I got a Japanese Chromium. Chronicles was a fun set. I liked Chronicles because I could get reprints of cards from Arabian Nights, Antiquities, and Legends. But this set was super controversial at the time because they reprinted cards like the Elder Dragons, and collectors were kind of upset about that. And this set is single-handedly responsible for the revised list. Not the revised list, the reserved list. So there you go. You can thank Chronicles for the reserve list, but it was one of my favorites. It came out in, was it 95? I think it was 95. See if it tells on here. It probably does, but it's hard to read this. It was around 95. But yeah, it was fun. Fun times. Oh, this also had the Dark in it. I forgot about that, because I got a couple of Blood Moons. There you go. It says Arabian Nights, Antiquities, Legends in the Dark. It's fun. So there you go, a little piece of card gaming history and a lot of Magic. I do like seeing these old boosters, especially, like the Dark and Revised and Legends. You notice the Vampire one, it looks very similar. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little nostalgia trip. And until next time, I hope you have a super week.